What's going on YouTube? Other half 1993 here with another deck profile. And let's see. I used this deck last time at locals. Gonna use it again today. Not at Dallas, unfortunately, but no, at my locals. Last night I went 3-1. But since we had 30 people, I didn't make top 8. Go figure. I did lose the first round though. And I actually did beat a full-blown 6 samurai deck, Kizans and Kaigekis and Shiens and everything. So go figure. So yeah, I'll just dive straight into this. Not that they, not that they need one from me, but anyway, shout out anyways to Team Minority SPG for the inspiration to make this deck. There are quite a few differences though, some tweaks I made from the build they put up. I think it was yesterday or the other day or something like that. So without further ado, here we go. First of all, 3-watt draft. Yeah, I guess I'll just go ahead and also drop down the 3-watt pheasant. These are the your main beaters of the deck. They can both attack directly. Pheasant has 1,000 attack. Draft has 1,200. And when Watt Draft successfully attacks directly, your opponent doesn't get to activate spells, traps, or any effects for the rest of the turn. So that's really nice. Very useful. Protects the rest of your monsters for the rest of the turn, and also stops in-phase MST, which helps a lot more than you think it would. And then Watt Pheasant, when he successfully attacks directly, you remove and play a face-up monster on the field until the end of the turn. Not that useful. I've never had really much of a use for it, but he's still 1,000 direct attacker, and you can, theoretically clear the way for more Watt monsters to attack directly. So, still nice to have around. Next up, 3-Watt Hopper. Probably the best Watt in the deck. While he's in play, your opponent cannot attack or target with effects any Watt monsters besides Watt Hopper. And if you have 2 of them in play, it creates a lock effect where your opponent can't attack or target any Watt monsters with effects. So if you have 2 of these out, you're pretty much set for the rest of the game, with the exception of Dark Hole, Torrential, and Stardust Dragon. Mirror Force will still work too, but these guys should be in defense mode anyway. So yeah, 3 I think definitely should be in every Watt deck. Next up, 3-Watt Dragonfly. Probably my personal favorite Watt, one of the most useful in my opinion. When he's destroyed by your opponent, either by battle or card effect, you can special summon any Watt monster from your deck. So that gets you either Pheasant or Giraffe if you want to go on the aggression, or Watt Hopper if you're ready to set up that lock. So nice to have. 1-Watt Squirrel. He's got 700 attack. He can attack twice per turn. When he battles with a monster, even if he gets destroyed by battle, that monster's effect is negated, and that negation carries over into the graveyard. So he's really, really good against mainly plant and monarch variants. Attack Treeborn, Glow Bulb, Spore, Dandelion. They all lose their effects. And actually, it's funny. I played against Machina last night. Had Fortress attack into this, and it's probably the reason I won the game, to be honest. Because after I killed Fortress, it couldn't come back thanks to Watt Squirrel. So that was really nice. 1-Watt Lemur. When this guy is destroyed either by battle or card effect, your opponent doesn't get a battle phase their next turn. He's really good if you're just trying to stall and set up either like a Watt Hopper lock, or if you're waiting for more protection. All around nice card to have. 2 Thunder King Ryo. The only monster in the deck with more than 1,500 attack. I like him for the stun element he brings to the deck, as well as the backbone of a beater if you need a beater. Plus he's Thunder, so he gets some of the support you'll be seeing later on. So all around good card to have. And to finish out the monsters, we have 2 Honest, because every monster in this deck is a light, so go figure. For traps, 2 Judgment of Thunder. This card's effect is pretty simple. When a Thunder type monster is summoned, you destroy a card on the field. Very, very good, very useful, considering putting in a 3rd one. The free destruction is definitely welcome, and it can either clear out some back rows if you're worried about those, or get off some monsters that are giving you problems, get them off the field. So that's good. It's a good card to have. 1 Royal Oppression. There are only 2 cards in the deck besides Dragonfly that special summon, and Dragonflies will usually be special summoning the damage step, so Oppression is definitely a must. Definitely very good right now, especially against Samurais. Two-Dimensional Prison. Team Minority SPG, the video had Threatening Roars, but I like Dimensional Prison because even though it only stops one attack, it removes the threat, so... and Dimensional Prison is just one of my preferences for trap cards, so... right now I have 2 Bottomless Trap Hole and 1 Solemn Warning. It should be 2 Warning, 1 Trap Hole, but I don't have my 2nd Warning at the moment, so go figure. And 1 Solemn Judgment and 1 Torrential. I am trying to make room for a Starlight Road, so if there's any changes to the deck, which I think they're going to be probably today, but Starlight Road is probably the main change that's going to happen. I'll fit a Starlight Road in there. 3 Messenger of Peace. This is your main protection. While it's on the field, monsters with 1,500 or more attack can't declare an attack, so everything but the Thunder Kings get under it, and it'll protect your Watts from just about everything. The only monsters I really had trouble with were in the Machina matchup. It was kind of annoying that the gadgets kept getting under Messenger of Peace. Otherwise, the card is immensely helpful. 1 Recycling Batteries. It's a Gravekeeper Steel for Thunders with 1,500 or less attack, so that's always nice to have. Pretty self-explanatory. 2 Pod Duality for the consistency. 1 for 1. This card is exclusively for Watthopper, but it helps set up the lock with him better, and gets that lock off more often. 2 Book of Moon for protection. 2 MSC for back row hate, and then Dark Hole and Monster Reborn. So that's the main deck. As you can see, I didn't have any tuners in the deck. And I'm planning on just still not using any tuners for a while, just because Watts don't really have any great tuners. Some of them are alright. Like Watt Fox and Watt Beta, they're okay, but I really don't like them that much, so the only card you really need for the extra deck is Fortress Dragon, because I have some Cybers on the side. But and then Stardust Dragon, if I do or when I do add Starlight Road. Watts do have a Synchro though. Watt Chimera, he's level 6, 1,400 attack. He can attack directly, and when he does, your opponent has to select a card you pick a random card in your opponent's hand and add it to the top of their deck. So that's pretty nice. Rest of the extra deck is pretty inconsequential. It's all just, generic stuff. So finally, onto the side deck. Consecrated Lights, because your deck is all light and it's good for dark matchups. 2 Cyber Dragons for Machinas and whenever you're going to go second. 1 Kinetic Soldier for Samurais. I never really saw him, so I can't attest to how useful he is, but he's basically there for another stall option against Samurais. 3 Raikou. Might seem a little weird in the side, but this deck doesn't have any really specific cards that it's susceptible to. So I like having the 3 Raikou on the side just to get rid of any cards that are giving me trouble. Like a prime example is round 1, which I did lose, but round 1 I played an anti-meta deck that uses King Tigers and Donza Lugs. So I decided the Raikous to get rid of the King Tigers. Granted, I never saw the Raikous, but I didn't really see King Tiger that much either. But that's what I mean by cards that are just giving you trouble. Any card that you might come across that's just giving you a bit of a hard time, I decide the Raikous in for. 1 Watt Squirrel for the Plant and Monarch variant matchups. 1 Dust Tornado for Spell Trap Heavy and Samurai decks. 3 Trap Hole. I've always been a big fan of Trap Hole on the side deck. I've always maintained that it's really good against Gladiator Beasts, Black Wings, and Sabers, but last night I found it was very, very helpful in the Samurai matchup, which you might not really expect it would be, but I was able to stop, once I had Oppression on the field, I was able to stop the normal summons of like Kaigeki and Kizan, and it just really helped me get a lot of field advantage and control the field to help keep those Samurais, in control. Oops. And finally, 2 Nulman of Crossout. Alright, so a lot of you are probably interested in the samurai matchup. Sorry this video is taking so long, but there's a lot of explaining to do here. A lot of you are probably interested in how the samurai matchup went and why I was able to beat samurais. Well, basically, I knew going into there the only way I was going to win is if I won the die roll and then either opened with Messenger of Peace or somehow first turn got double Watt Hopper on the field. Lo and behold, I did win the die roll, drew Messenger of Peace. I learned after that game that he only had Kaigeki, Kizan, and Grandmaster in hand, so he had really no way of getting around that. So I was able to stall long enough until I got the Watt Hopper lock on the field, which at that point his Book of Moons and whatnot, those all became useless. So after I get them on the field, I just started, beating down with these guys until I was able to get the game. Game 2 I did lose, but it wasn't like an OTK fast kind of lose. It was still, the game drew out for quite a while. I was able to do that with a heavy back row. And then Game 3, I'll tell you right now, this card right here is the only reason I won Game 3. I opened with this, Trap Hole, Solemn Judgment, Dimensional Prison, and like a Watt Draft or something, I think. So I was pretty much set to go. And that whole match, she and the Synchro never successfully hit the field. And this card right here is why. Once Oppression was flipped up, there really wasn't a whole lot that Samurais could do against me. So a heavy back row backed up with Oppression is definitely why I won the third game. I almost want to run Gold Sarks just because of that, just so I can fetch Oppression or whatever card I need, but I'm not a huge Gold Sark fan. So that's really all I've got to say about this deck. If you're looking for a fun new deck, this is definitely one to consider. A lot of people dismiss Watts as not really that great. I'll admit I did for the longest time, but they turned out to be a tricky, nifty little deck. So, and the deck cost me literally $7 to build, getting the 3 drafts and all the commons. So yeah, so definitely, it's a deck you could literally build with pocket change. So if you got the time and the patience to get all the cards together, I would definitely recommend trying the Watt deck out. As usual, I'll try to get some duels up with it. No promises though, but if there's enough clamor in the comments to get a duel up with it, I'll definitely go out of my way to get one up. So, because I'm really eager to show just how good this deck can be. But so yeah, that's all for now. This is the other half 1983. Peace out, guys.